Next stop this morning here on the Sunrise Show, the Oregon Zoo. There are many animals living at the zoo who were either orphaned or injured in the wild. So black bears Timber and Thorn are one example. Good morning there, Timber and Thorn. And sea otters Lincoln, Juno, and Sushi are another. The latest example, though, of what are known as second chance animals can be found hanging out these days in the zoo's Great Northwest area. They're a pair of orphan cougars known as Link and Nova. The fast-growing felines are brother and sister, and they're also the focus of this brand new Drew at the Zoo.
Link! Nova! Come on!
Say good morning to Link and Nova. Care staff at the zoo estimate they're about 9 months old at this point. The Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife found them wandering in southwest Washington last November with no sign of mom, so they rescued the littermates and brought them to the zoo.
Cougars often spend the first at least year of their lives, if not their first 2 years of their lives with their mother, learning their skills to be on their own, being protected by her, being fed by her. And so at just a few months old, these two would not have survived without her. And so that intervention is necessary to make sure that we're being good stewards of wildlife.
The zoo gave Link and Nova plenty of time to transition to their new home behind the scenes during the winter months, and they've spent the month of April exploring their outdoor habitat. They are still cubs and technically will be for the next 15 months or so, but they're certainly not small anymore.
Link has made it up to 70 pounds. He is always ready for a snack.
Hey Link, here you go, buddy. There's actually a trick to getting it through the space.
It's luck is the trick.
Okay.
Nice.
Come on. Breakfast. Nova is about 20 pounds lighter than her brother at just over 50 pounds, but Allie says the smaller of the two is also the leader of the two. Bottom line, they've both adjusted to zoo life so far, which can sometimes be a challenge when you're born in the wild.
They are overcoming those natural instincts. It's a good thing for cougars to be afraid of people in the wild, and so it's important to us that we do things on their timeline, not our timeline.
I raised twins at home. One of the big challenges, how do you tell them apart? I'm thinking the same thing with these two. How do you know one from the other?
That's actually so funny. I always compare it to guess if you've ever met twins. And so it's the same with these two, although they do have a couple of physical characteristics. Link, our male, is larger than his sister. He's a bit darker than his sister, and he has a dark black nose, and Nova has a bright pink nose.
So that's how you knows.
Yes, exactly.
Should never end a Drew at the zoo like that, but we just did. All right, let's see how good your memories are. Last hour, we talked about the 4 other names for that same animal. They're called cougars around here, but in other parts of the country, they're known as?
Mountain lions.
Mountain lions is one.
That was the only one I had.
Remember the tennis shoes?
Yeah, Puma.
Puma is another.
And then there was the one that I can't spell.
Catamount.
Catamount.
Catamount?
Yeah, a viewer called in and
catamount.
said, Catamount.
Okay.
The viewer called in and said the University of Vermont, their mascot is the catamount, so maybe they're known as catamounts up there in the northeast of the U.S. Okay. And then in Florida, exclusively in Florida, they're known as panthers. But it's the same animal. Different names for the same animal.
Carolina Panthers, NFL.
Yeah, there you go. One more thing for you. You would think that cougars, right, would be known as big cats like lions and tigers because they get to be pretty big, but they're not considered
as big.
But they're not as big, but they're not considered big cats, not because of their size, but because they can't roar. They purr like a house cat.
That's adorable.
They don't roar?
They don't roar.
And yet we're terrified of these creatures. They don't roar. Now I'm embarrassed.
If they attack me in silence, I'd be scared, okay? It's not their sound that's scary. It's the size of those animals and their speed. But anyway, there's all the cougar information you ever wanted to know.
They really don't go.
No, they purr.
If we could not do that like ever again,
All right.
that'd be great.
Thank you very much.